Hi again, friends. I'm asuka424, and welcome to run 2 of 2. This is, as the title screen just said briefly before it disappeared, Next Machina Death Machine, or as it's directly translated, Death Machine, Death Machine. Anyway, so let's get started. It's a weird start. It's not immediately when I hit this button, it's like 2 or 3 seconds in, so just be ready to start the timer. It's basically once the cutscene of me on a motorcycle that you'll see once and never again kicks in. But enough yap, let's go. So we're gonna be starting right now. There we go. I don't make the rules. They decide to do a weird start time, and we're just gonna roll with it. So, all right, what is Next Machina? Or just Next, because I like to shorthand things. Much like my Resogun yesterday, this is a shmup, and this is a shmup done by Housemarque. You'll see a trend with games I run. They tend to be Housemarque games, which is fine and dandy. This was a 2017 game. It was the follow-up game after, of course it's a shield, after Resogun, and it plays somewhat similarly to Reso, but there are some differences, and if you've ever played a game on the Super Nintendo called Super Smash TV, guess what? This is going to seem very similar to you in a lot of different ways, because that's where it gets its, like, it's an homage to Super Smash TV. So right now, it's basically just a series of rooms. This is a little manipulation I did to, ooh, dash explosion, nice, to get to the room a little bit faster. It's pretty much, yep, I clear everything that I need to that's required in a room, and I get to move on to the next one. There's like 15 rooms per. I don't have triple dash, so I don't want to die on these lasers. And then we get to fight a boss at each level. There's some basic weapons that, hold on, things are scary. There we go. The weapon actually doesn't really change per se, it's just this laser that I get to shoot, which is fine. It powers up over time, and then you get some bonus weapons. Those are the numbered ones that I pick up from boxes. For the most part, you will see me use Power Shot and Power Shot. Power Shot, which is this beam right here, it's nice on a whole bunch of different levels. It is a really nice, long, just like massive laser, but then it also creates this like explosion around you. So as soon as I use it, I lost my shield, that's not good. As soon as I use it, it does a little bit of damage around me. There's also a couple other extra abilities, and those are designated on the bottom left-hand corner of the screen as I point to my screen, because that makes sense in my brain at like 1 something in the morning. There are 5 different things I can get, and I can die right there because of course it did. There is the weapon spread, which turns a single bullet into a 3-bullet shot. Okay, I lost dash explosion, that's fine. Dash explosion, which when I do that dash, it creates like a little explosion around me, which is great and does damage. There is the weapon range, which, shocking nobody, increases the range on my weapon. There is the shield, which is a really nice feature. I can take a single hit before I die. And, that's pretty much it. Oh, weapon range, there we go. So yeah, when you'll get all 5 of them over time. It's random which ones you get in the order you get them in. You actually want shield last because you do no damage when you get the shield. You just have to like dodge everything. But once you get all 5, you'll notice that my gun went from like a 3-burst gun to a 5-burst heck and fluff gun. So what I want to do at this point is I want to maintain my shield and not lose it throughout this entire run, just so I can do a little bit more damage and progress further through the level. Anywho, this is a fairly straightforward level, just kill little floaty orbs, move on to the next one, fine and dandy. Right now, I'm going to talk really quickly about our first boss. And there's a lot of things coming at you. It's shmups. The action never stops, so the yapping on my end also never has to stop. Anywho, there are multiple special weapons. The sword. It is the worst weapon in the game. So you might ask yourself, how did I get here? You might also ask yourself, but Asuka, why did you pick up the worst weapon in the game? Funny story about the worst weapon in the game. I'm trying not to die to the boss's laser face. Each boss is weak to a specific weapon. Beamtron is weak to the weakest weapon in the game. The sword. You normally don't want that sword in any type of shmup whatsoever. But for some reason, a rotating robo skull in the middle of the room will just be like, okay, actually, yeah, I accept the fact that I'm dying to a sword right now. But we're gonna get rid of it as quickly as possible because the range is terrible. We can't really do much else. And well, you'll see very quickly, we go back to our power shot. Well, that's rude. So, in addition to... there we go. Yeah, so there's other weapons. There's the smart bomb. We don't talk about that one. The detonator, we don't use that weapon either. We have our power shot, which is perfect. We got that back, so things are going to be a lot easier. You talked about the sword. There is also the laser and the rocket launcher. Those are the only other two weapons that matter in this run. Although the power shot I use pretty much exclusively for the levels. The laser and the rocket launcher I'll be using against the other bosses in this game. On rookie difficulty, there are 5 levels. We've already cleared the first one. And for levels, let's see, 2 and 5, I will be using the laser. And for 3 and 4, I'll be using the rocket launcher. They just do a lot more damage, and I prefer using them because they're faster. Right now, there we go. Pretty much just a matter of progressing, or to progress level. Surprising no one, I just have to kill all the enemies, and there's no real good rhyme or reason other than knowing what enemies spawn where and trying to get to them as fast as possible. And sometimes they behave, sometimes they don't. That pink aura that you saw on that enemy just then, that signifies they are the last required enemy you have to kill in that particular level. There's some enemies that you don't have to kill. Like these kind of like mortars, you don't have to deal with them. Those bonus enemies that I kind of just killed for my own personal benefit, didn't have to kill them either. They're just in the way, so I don't deal with them. They looked at me funny. Let's see here. Whoop. And I'm just going to run into that enemy right there because I ran out of boost. But there we go. I always end up getting that weapon right there, and it's a sad day because it slows things down. Also, thank you, Indy. Nope. Turrets are mean, okay? Let's see, what can we chit-chat about? These fidget spinner enemies, they will break apart into multiple pieces if you don't, like, use a special attack to kill them. And they just get really annoying. There is... Oh! One thing that... in this game, there are bonus levels. It is my life goal to not deal with a bonus level in a speedrun. In this particular speedrun. Those bonus levels, they are very low. Well, they could range anywhere from about 20 seconds to up to like 2 minutes of you have to complete this extra floor before you can progress. Needless to say, we don't want to deal with that. So, to avoid them, you have to, well, quite literally avoid the video games. there are hidden arcade cabinets in specific levels. You don't want to touch them. I'll be able to point them out to you in a couple levels so you can see what I'm referring to. But basically, if you shoot the arcade cabinets, you'll get this kind of sound. Sounds are hard, okay. And it'll say, it'll basically say, hey, you got the bonus level. And then I cry and die a little bit inside and have to go fight something I don't want to deal with. Let's see here. Another point of, actually, before I go into the fun point of note, I am going to talk about probably the easiest boss in this run, which is Yeti Kong. So for this run, or for this boss, you want the laser, because it does boffo damage to the boss. Also what I'm doing, even though it looks like I'm like shoving myself right into its like abdomen, what I'm using is my combination of triple dash and dash explosion by just smacking the boss and repeatedly doing damage to it. So that extra damage plus the laser doing a constant DOT, the boss had a health bar. It's gone now, but it had one, so good for it. That's just a kind of a fun boss that really makes you feel like you're like super overly powered. Let's see here. Oh, disruptors. So let's talk about disruptors. Those just get in the way of anything you want to do, and it's really annoying. And you try to avoid them at all costs. It's a bonus enemy that you don't have to fight, but it likes just being in the way. Kind of like one of those, like, I don't know. It's like one of those annoying pop-ups. Can you see the... Nope, you can't really see the arcade cabinet. I was going to show you the arcade cabinet in this one, but it's hidden behind some rocks. Like the first time you pretty much play this and you do like the speedrun method, a lot of times you will hit the arcade cabinets because you're just firing like willy-nilly to try to kill things as quickly as possible. And then you just hear the sound and you get sad. Here I can actually show you the arcade cabinet. So we're going to clear some enemies. Alright, so that arcade cabinet right there that I almost decided to shoot at, or almost decided to kill, that is a bonus level. We don't want to deal with the bonus level. But that's what they look like, and they're in like side areas of the level. There's one particular one that I'll point out in World... I can't remember which level. I want to say it's 3 or 5, where for a very long time I was convinced the arcade cabinet was on one side of the map, and I was completely wrong. So I was pretty much just rolling the dice and testing fate every single time I play this game. But this is the room of social distancing, as I like to call it, because it starts off as a really, really tight room. Then as you break up some of the rocks, it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. But let's see here. What can we talk about? Oh, so since I run Resogun in addition to Next Machina, there's actually a couple similarities / differences between the two. For one, the announcer is the same, and I lost my like single remaining brain cell when I realized that. I thought it was really cool. There to kill you. There we go. But so there are some similarities with how some things functions. But probably my favorite quality of life upgrade is the shield between Rezo and Nex. In Rezo, it disappears over time. So you only get it for a short amount of time. And once you lose it, and it's a sad day. Here, nope, you just keep it until it disappears. This level is interesting because you literally can't speed up the process of getting those to spawn. There's also another arcade cabinet to the left that we're not going to touch. This is the equivalent of Indiana and the Temple of Doom right here as I avoid a giant boulder. There we go. But all in all, it feels pretty similar to Rezo, and it's a fun little shmup that I just, like, love playing. Oh, geez. Or I could just almost completely miss that enemy, which would have been a sad day. Here, it's just another matter of dodging pretty much most things while also not shooting that fun arcade cabinet to the left. That's another bonus level. Actually, you just reload the checkpoint, skip bonus level? No. The thing about shmups is you just keep going. It is straight up a case of you don't stop until the run is done. The only time you get to really breathe is once you complete a world. And even then, it's just you're trying to button mash as quickly as possible through everything. So as much as I would love to, I cannot. And boop. Alright. So, right now I'm going to grab that rocket launcher really quickly. And yeah, it's a standard issue rocket launcher that launches rockets. Pika shock, I know. So, Housemarque loves making their RNG bosses the third world bosses. So welcome to Heltron. All of those bullets, Heltron is just sending them wherever Heltron wants to send them. But once I get to this part, I essentially lock him in place until the desperation move. So, yeah, it's just a matter of using my dash explosions to my benefit and also pelting him with rockets until he eventually falls. Words are hard. Complete. Let's see. Oh, level and dash. So with Housemarque loves saving humans, yeah, they kind of do. They did a lot of let's not take up that smartphone. Come on, perfect. Yeah, the humans look a little bit different. You'll notice in this game, they don't have that same like voxely cuteness that were in Resogun. Unfortunately, it's a sad day. But so the level on dashes that I'm doing, it's just a very basic dash, and I'm trying to. It's just one more way to get through the level quicker. It's not much of a time save, but there is a little bit of a time save. And what I'm also trying to do is dash in the most efficient and distance decent way possible. You'll notice that once I complete a level, let's not die here. I go to the next area. All right, once I complete a stage, I go to the next area. Well, what I want to do if I'm actually doing appropriate strats in this particular speedrun, I'm trying to position myself so I don't have to dash as far. So like right here, I'm right by that stairs because I know that's where the next level is going to be. It doesn't seem like I'm going to be saving much time doing that, but it's one of those build up over time for sure. And in a very short sub 30-minute speedrun, that's a big deal. And it builds up very noticeably. Let's see here. Also, the difficulty. So this is Rookie. It's the easiest difficulty. It's pretty chill. What's kind of cool about it is Rookie has only 5 stages. All the other stages in Next Machina have 6. There are multiple things that aren't present in Rookie. For instance, the space station, which is the 6th stage. But there's also a hidden boss in Experience and Up that you can only fight if you that's kind of scary. One credit clear or 1 CC the difficulty. And surprising nobody, the hidden boss that you fight in Next Machina, if you 1 CC Next Machina is... Wait for it. Next Machina. Creative, I know. It's actually a really interesting boss that I love fighting. It's super, super difficult, even on experienced difficulty. And I'll be honest, I'm not always 100% guaranteed to beat it. And from a I always forget that dude shows up right there. From a speedrunning standpoint, it's actually not part of the timing for experienced and up difficulties, because it's an optional boss that would just increase the time. And by optional, it's like voluntold optional, because you want a 1 credit clear, but you also don't want to add another boss to your repertoire. It just sometimes be that way. This level is somewhat unique in that usually I don't want to get the non-power shot weapon until I'm actually in the boss fighting area. This one, it's actually just slightly faster to pick up the rocket launcher now than it is to pick it up when I'm dealing with the boss. Which, okay, buddy. Hitboxes, when it comes to dashing in this game, leave a lot to be desired on both the PlayStation versions and the PC versions. So we just kind of deal with it and move on. But this is the boss area, and we are going to be fighting this is actually my favorite boss, and my friend Ashani Black Phoenix, who is pretty much like the guru of this game. He loves this boss as much as I do. But it is very much the speedrun strats make this boss a lot harder than he should be. This is Enforcer Prime. You kind of, if you're able to stun lock him for a good amount of time, better. Which did decent. Not bad. There's some ads here. But eventually he will go into the corner, and I will try to dodge some skulls. Poorly. There we go. Perfect. And yeah, Enforcer Prime is really easy if you keep your distance. From a speedrunning standpoint, you don't want to keep your distance against him. That's a lot faster that way. But with all that yapping, since we are on rookie difficulty, we have actually reached the final level. It has, honestly, the coolest boss of rookie, because the boss changes over time. And it is the Architect. We'll get to him. He's pretty easy, but Architect is pretty much a mood for anybody that feels like they're trapped at work. You'll find out in a little bit what that means, but... there we go. A couple other little things I haven't really talked about is a lot of the colors are kind of significant. Red is, well, shocking no one, bad, because that's where all the enemies are. Pink is also a really bad color. But pink can be dashed through and dodged. Then there's purple. Purple is an evil color and should be avoided at all costs. Purple, you'll find out, is a color that you cannot dash through. But one thing I also mentioned earlier was there was one particular arcade cabinet that I thought was on one side of the map, and I was wrong. It is this level right here. The arcade cabinet is right here. Up until not terribly long ago, I thought it was right here. So I would always shoot pretty much directly at the arcade cabinet. And a shiny Black Phoenix, again, the guru of this game, would give me so much heck every single time I was in that level. just because I was always aiming for it and luckily not hitting it. So effectively I was failing up that particular level. Yeah, that's true. Whoa, hi friend. But yeah, so that purple laser right there, you cannot dash through it and you'll just die. Which makes that enemy really annoying because, yeah, it has like the scorpion get over here arm that shoots out a purple laser. Also, the most obvious arcade cabinet of obvious arcade cabinets is right there. Actually in level 6 or world 6, there's one particular, the longest bonus level is the most obviously placed bonus level, and it is literally the meme "This is Bait," the video game. There's this giant enemy that's literally just there and waiting to get power shot. End of discussion. So you go and power shot him. Well, that enemy is literally standing in front of the arcade cabinet, and you're just like, yeah, I should have saw that coming, but I didn't, so here we are. This actual next part is my favorite transition of the entire game. Welcome to the Matrix. Let's bust all you up. Secret humans, yay. But actually, in relating to that second loops, in actually both Rezo and Nex Machina, there is a hidden secret loop, or hidden loop, in the form of hero difficulty. Hero difficulty is only available if you 1 credit clear master difficulty, and it's not something that you can pick up from the menu once you've accessed it. You have to literally 1cc master every single time to take on hero. And it is terrifying. The first time I did, I haven't been able to reach hero on Nex Machina, but I have reached, I've beaten hero a few times on Resogun, and it is, it's absolutely terrifying. It's so difficult, but it's so fun. Kind of like the secret boss in Nex Machina by 1cc'ing experience and up. Nex Machina itself, it's not a boss that you can repeat. You get 1 shot, that's it. Intimidating, it is. It honestly is, and it's really fun. But speaking of intimidating, but actually not really, we're at the final boss. Now, final boss of Rookie. Time will be, I'll call time when the explosion happens. But this boss is very much exactly like Yeti Kong, where I do triple dashes right into its body, and I use my laser every time it's up, and then I go through the different phases. And you'll see that like red thing that I was shooting at when the barrier's not up, it's slowly changing, like it's falling apart as I'm fighting it. So you can kind of see who's in there, or what's in there, really who's in there. Oh, here I want to avoid that purple beam. And now you can see the true architect of the game. The biggest mood for anybody that's ever felt trapped at work. The game sees you. But, again, time's going to be coming up very shortly because this is a pretty easy fight. There we go. And time. But yeah, like Resogun, Rezo and Nex both, they're amazing shmups to play. They're really fun. They're very easy to pick up, very optimized and fun but challenging to speedrun. I love them. my favorite part is kind of like there's different cutscenes for different difficulties, and there's different cutscenes whether or not you're able to defeat Next Machina in upper difficulties. But my favorite part is this is one of my favorite credit songs of all like video games. It's fantastic. Housemarque knows how to make some amazing bangers of songs. So Next Machina is available on Steam, on the PlayStation Network. Both console and PC are actually comparable in terms of times, so there's no like distinguishing between the two, which I think is pretty cool because you don't really see that in many games. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed my two little forays into some shmuppy goodness and shots fired. It's been absolutely fun playing these for you. You can find me twitch.tv/asuka424. If you're at PAX East, you can see me playing Resogun on Veteran difficulty on Thursday morning and the speedrun stage, so check that out. And yeah, I hope everyone has a lot of fun with the rest of the marathon, and we'll see you later. And enjoy the last Housemarque game that you'll be seeing this marathon. Cave 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 is doing a Returnal later on in it, so check it out. It's gonna be really fun. Bye!